Excellency, our distinguished Head of State, our Honorable Prime Minister and members of Parliament, Excellencies of the Diplomatic Corps, Chancellor Bermudez, Chairman of Campus Council, Principal, distinguished colleagues, graduating class, our honorary graduates, members of our alumni family, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered in this moment of triumph to celebrate and congratulate our students who are graduating here today. They have been tested not only by their professors, but by a pandemic. And in their triumph in academic year 2020, they have risen above this COVID-19. They have been resilient, resourceful, and they have risen above all of the circumstances that they have encountered. I congratulate you with admiration as I invite the world to join with you today in this grand celebration of your success. We express gratitude to your supporters, your family, your friends, your governments, your donors, and your teachers. They have been the sponsors of your magnificence and your success. Your university also has another good cause to celebrate with you today. The Times Higher Education, the #1 ranking agency of universities in the world, have given us a triple first global ranking. We have been ranked the #1 university in the wider Caribbean from a field of over 150 fine universities. We have been ranked in the top 1% of the finest universities in Latin America and the Caribbean from a field of over 5,000 very fine universities. And we have been ranked in the top 1% of the finest universities in the world within our age cohort, the golden age universities, those between 50 and 100 years of age. But you, the graduating class, are doing so at a time in which the reputation of your university has never been higher. It is within this context that we also celebrate the excellence of our honorary graduates. We are supportive of their excellence, and we are honored to be associated with them today and forever. The future of your university is very bright indeed. We have excellent plans for the years ahead. We are confident as we are careful and yet courageous. But as you go out into the region and the wider world, be assured that your alma mater will be proudly standing with you. Blessings upon you, our beloved university, and our region.
Greetings, graduating class of 2020. On behalf of the University of the West Indies, Mona campus, I extend heartiest congratulations to each and every one of you. This is your time to celebrate, your time to look back on the road you have traveled and how you arrived at this destination. You have battled long and hard, and today is your moment to look back in glory. Look at what you have become, look at your past selves and your future. We are proud of you and happy that you've been able to make this goal. We were happy to play a role in helping you get to this goal. And now you are proudly identified as alumni of this historical institution. Philosopher Osho once said, "Life should not only be lived, it should be celebrated." And you are celebrating. You have much to celebrate now as a Pelican. You have triumphed over many challenges, classes that needed to be fit into your schedule, finding the partners for those dreaded assignments, the group work, working the all-nighters, the study sessions, getting the coursework assignments done while preparing for the final exams. All of this you had to now battle with societal issues, violent upheavals, things happening in your communities, economic climate which resulted in many of you having even greater difficulty making the payments that you needed to. Natural disasters are added burdens. Yet, you were successful and you've achieved your goal. You've had quite a few hurdles, chief of which would be the COVID-19. You had to pivot. You had to now get through that final stretch of your program with changes. Adjustments were many. Some of you seriously contemplated whether you would continue or not, but you made it. And you worked hard. You took the financial and technological resources by the scruff of the neck, and you are now here. In spite of all, you adjusted, you readjusted, you demonstrated a tenacity that we viewed with awe. Your story throughout this upheaval has been one of resilience, and we are proud of you. Graduates, you've persevered, and perseverance is what you need to take you through the rest of your journey. You're not without hard lessons, but those hard lessons stand you well going forward. Your successes are now stepping stones for the future. Many of you are first-generation tertiary graduates, and we commend you. This has a special meaning for you, your families, your communities. You are the embodiment of dreams of your families that they may never have been able to achieve. Whether this is an undergraduate or a postgraduate degree, congratulations. For others, this is an accomplishment that you had set your mind on. Now you're able to achieve. You are now a graduate. As you set off on that journey, remember to pay it forward. You are amongst giants now, standing in your communities. You now need to stand so others can stand on your shoulders and get to a tertiary institution. What you do with your tertiary degree from here is totally up to you. But enough of this. This is a time for you to celebrate. This is a time for you to think all that has happened and how you are now achieving your goals. Be the best that you can be. Do not compare yourself with others. Compare yourself with your best self. Strive to always be that best self. As you look forward on your journeys, take heart in how you have worked, how you have strived, and how you have achieved. You are now the model that many will follow. Congratulations, and continue to do well. Thank you.
Congratulations to the 2020 graduating class of the University of the West Indies. Today is the day that you've been working towards and perhaps even dreaming about even before you actually began your classes. I want you to know that today is equally important to us as university administrators. You see, graduation is cherished as one of the most anticipated, exciting, and meticulously planned events on our annual university calendar. While this particular edition has required a reimagining of many of the traditional and most enjoyed highlights, we proudly commend your resilience in transitioning, and you've done so remarkably throughout the pandemic. Today is your day. Your degree is being conferred. It is your graduation. And as you celebrate today, I hope you make memories and project your Pelican pride to the whole world. I take the opportunity to salute the network of support that stood behind you throughout your time at the UWI, knowing that they take as much pride and perhaps even more in this milestone as well. And just as over the past 7 decades when generations of UWI Pelicans took flight, so too will you, members of the class of 2020, take flight. You are especially entrusted to demonstrate the continued intellectual development of the region as the first post-COVID-19 generation of alumni. The university community is so very proud of you and is rooting for your success. Enjoy today and enjoy the journey ahead. Let the ceremony begin.
Chancellor, Mr. Robert Bermudez, Vice Chancellor, Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of UWI Mona Campus, Professor Dale Weber, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Principals, University Registrar Dr. Maurice Smith, Deputy Principal Professor Ian Boxhill, Deans, other principals of the UWI, Honorary Graduate Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, His Excellency Sir Rodney Williams, and his family, who joined us virtually from the UWI Five Islands campus. And I'd also like to recognize the Prime Minister of Antigua, Mr. Gaston Brown, Honorable Gaston Brown, who is sitting in with Sir Rodney Williams this morning. And Gaston Brown's family is also with him this morning. Honorary Graduate Professor Albert Rees and his family have joined us virtually from USA, from Maryland. The Minister of Education, the Honorable Favour Williams, members of the Diplomatic Corps, members of the University of the UWI community, class valedictorian Dr. Shamara Roden, graduating class of 2020, family and friends of the graduating class, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, welcome to University of the West Indies graduation 2020. This year's graduation is an unusual one, as we are not able to host all our graduates and their families at what is the greatest moment of their lives, the final step in the completion of their UWI degree and the rite of passage into a defined identity. The world is now in a battle with this invisible enemy, the COVID-19, which requires us to fight back by observing certain protocols, wearing of a mask, sanitization, and physical distancing. This morning, I'm very pleased to stand in for the Chancellor and to preside at this graduation function with the conferral of honor degrees to Sir Rodney Williams, the Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, and also to Professor Albert Rees of the University of Maryland, who I must say on a personal note, managed my care as I went through rehabilitation at the University Hospital of Maryland. I'm also pleased to be here to join with my own son, Dr. Dominic Jarrett, who graduates this morning. With that said, I welcome you all, and I trust that this morning's event will be good. I know it will be good, and I now invite, and that's my welcome to you. I now invite the Chancellor to give his address.
Vice Chancellor, members of the university leadership and colleagues, graduating class of 2020, greetings. This graduation ceremony is different from what we usually expect. While I deeply regret that our traditional ceremony of your academic accomplishments is not possible, this is a special event in your lives, and we are hoping to treat it with the significance and importance it deserves. There's a certain joy that you experience being able to share, being recognized by your fellow graduates, by the university community, and your families. The virtual world does not allow this. It does not allow me to salute each one of you individually. I hope that this message will convey my pride in your stellar accomplishments during a year of many challenges. My warmest congratulations to each one of you in the graduating class of 2020. In saluting you, I also pay tribute to your families and loved ones who supported you through these strange times. Your success is also their success, and I ask you to acknowledge and celebrate their love, support, and care. During the year that you completed your studies, the university adapted its teaching and learning approaches to deal with the public health challenge. The transition to emergency remote teaching was achieved through collaboration. Our technical teams, academic staff, and administrative teams worked together, coordinated by the leadership of the campuses and the university. As a whole, they ensured that teaching and learning and all the processes that supported you could continue. I thank them for their commitment, and I believe that your achievement is a validation of their tremendous effort. Over this year, we have seen some powerful countries in the world brought to a standstill by a virus. Economies have been devastated, industries severely impacted, and communities set back. Many lives have been lost, and life as we know it has changed. The pandemic has exposed the inequalities in our societies and the weaknesses in our economic systems. But it has also highlighted the work of our heroes and heroines, whose dedication to service may never have been recognized without it. This year, too, we've seen a resurgence in the Black Lives Matter movement, a phenomena that has transcended borders, social and economic differences, and ethnic groups. I am proud that many of our students participated in activities organized across the region. I believe that this clearly signals that activism is alive among our student body, and I urge you to keep that solidarity in the forefront of your consciousness as you go forward with your lives. Across the Caribbean, 2020 was a year when we celebrated our democracy. There have been free and fair elections in Bermuda, Jamaica, Suriname, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Belize, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and St. Kitts Nevis. We congratulate all of our brothers and sisters on this achievement. Our region stands as a proud beacon of democracy, and the University of the West Indies has played a pivotal role in its development. The responsibility now falls on your shoulders as the next graduating class to keep our democratic traditions strong and vibrant. Contributing countries and their governments are an integral part of this institution. They provide the funding and resources to maintain it. And some of you are beneficiaries of government scholarships. Your countries have demonstrated their confidence in you. And I encourage you to demonstrate your sense of responsibility through service to your country. You will be needed in the days and months ahead as the region builds its new reality. Our collective capacity to respond to global challenges begins with knowledge, creativity, and innovation. You are now part of that process going forward, and I urge you to become agents of change in your chosen fields and in your communities. Universities have a fundamental role to play in the creation and communication of knowledge. Universities are expected to advance informed and ethical action through the identification of challenges and opportunities for the societies in which they serve. There has been a call for universities globally to help shape the post-COVID world based on values that include democracy, human rights, social justice, inclusion, and equity. We have seen evidence of this in the response by our students, alumni, and faculty to the call for direct assistance to people in need through the provision of healthcare services, in research being conducted, and the remarkable transition to an online environment. I must commend the UWI COVID-19 Task Force for the sterling work that they have done and continue to do to help the region contain and respond to the pandemic. Notwithstanding these initial points of pride, there is still much to be done. I urge you to build on the civic spirit, the social solidarity, and the sharing of technical expertise that has already been demonstrated. Look towards the future, past COVID-19. Your graduating class is evidence that what has been achieved with care and collaboration, underpinned by the knowledge provided and encouraged by this academy. Extend this ethos into all that you do in the future. Be active and engaged citizens. Be engaged alumni. Contribute to the University of the West Indies in any way in which you are comfortable. Continue to pursue knowledge. Indulge your creativity and innovativeness. Build a better future for yourselves and for your communities. Your future is bright. Congratulations. We are met today in order that we may mark by a formal ceremony the entry of certain members into the company of graduates and the academic achievement of others. As a university, we are an academic society of undergraduates, bachelors, masters, and doctors, and we follow the academic tradition in the pursuit of knowledge and the encouragement of learning. The purposes which are laid out in the preamble to the Royal Charter by which we have been granted the powers needful for the prosecution of our affairs. In pursuing these aims, our members advance from time to higher standing in the academic community, and it is proper that as a body we should celebrate their achievement. We do this by granting a degree or diploma or license or certificate, and we rejoice with our graduates in their advancement.
Chairman, I now ask the public orator, Dr. Michael Buckner, to present Professor E. Albert Rees, whom the Senate and the Council of this university have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Chancellor, it was William Wordsworth who said, "The child is the father of the man." But to fully understand those perplexing poetic words, we must turn to the Jamaican-American medicine man who offers science, not science or science, to prove that it is really our mother who fathers us. Emboldened by the 990 theory, this eminent scholar has given prominence to what happens in the first 9 months during pregnancy as a great precursor of 90 years hence. Much of his work helps to examine adult diseases of fetal origin. He knows that our incubation in the womb might determine our relationship with the tomb. Chancellor, I present to you a serious scientist. Never mind his bemusing moustache and flamboyant bow ties. He's a professor of medicine, obstetrics, gynecology, biochemistry, and molecular biology, an eminent member of the prestigious National Academy of Medicine, Executive Vice President for Medical Affairs, the John Z. and Akiko K. Bars Distinguished Professor, and Dean of the School of Medicine, University of Maryland, Professor E. Albert Rees. I imagine, Chancellor, that with such an impressive name, E. Albert Rees, in which the first E suppresses a history of his christening, that perhaps elicited mild teasing in a Jamaican high school, and now invites speculation, also introduces a string of supernumerary E's in assonantal excess that could only stand for excellence. He was born in 1950 in the old capital of Spanish Town to a mother who was a teacher and a father who was a home builder. He had the double privilege of having both his mother and his older sister, who taught him at St. Jacob Preparatory School, provide educational modules for his life's journey. Though he gave up music lessons for playing soccer and cricket, it was playing doctor that seemed to have had the most lasting influence, developing in him a passion for medicine. After his grounding in Jamaica, his educational path to medical stardom would take him under the star-spangled banner of the United States of America. Moved first by faith to an Adventist university, he began his tertiary education at Andrews University in Michigan at age 19, but completed a Bachelor of Science degree at Long Island University on a full tuition scholarship and graduated magna cum laude. He was then captivated by love and stayed in New York at the NYU Medical School for his MD because his then girlfriend, now wife, was destined for graduate school in the Big Apple. The apple of his eye was to keep him grounded in New York and the new adventures for life as he moved on to greater prominence in the medical field. Ivy League sparkle was now to glint all over his resume as he completed his internship and residency in obstetrics and gynecology at Columbia University and his postdoctoral fellowship in maternal fetal medicine at Yale University. Along that illustrious path, he also completed, some say in his spare time, a PhD in biochemistry at the Mona campus of UWI and an MBA from the Fox School of Business and Management of Temple University. Chancellor, this son of the soil with multiple degrees is a source of inspiration from the work he has accomplished as a researcher, teacher, and administrator in the medical field. First, he has made groundbreaking discoveries in the biomolecular causes for diabetes-induced birth defects and pioneered a technique called embryofetoscopy to detect fetal birth defects. His publication record is staggering. It reads 12 books, 5 monographs, and more than 500 peer-reviewed articles, chapters, and abstracts. His contribution is not limited to his hardcore scientific explorations, but also his softcore nurturing role in guiding generations of medical students whom he advises not just to treat the illness, but also the patients they encounter. From clinical instructor to assistant professor, and then on to associate professor, he remained on the full-time faculty at Yale University for almost 10 years. Then, recruiters came a-calling, first from Temple University, who offered him the Abraham Roth Professorship and chairmanship of the Department of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Reproductive Sciences. Then after being Vice Chancellor and Dean of the College of Medicine at the University of Arkansas, the University of Maryland hotly pursued him. The rest, as you might have heard, is billion-dollar research leadership history at that institution as Vice President of Medical Affairs and Dean of the School of Medicine. A much sought after visiting professor and lecturer, Professor Rees has served on the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the National Institutes of Health, and been a member of the Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences. At a time, Chancellor, when Jamaicans are very proud of our progeny who ascend high offices in America, and at a time when there's a health catastrophe in the world, we are happy to welcome back into the bosom of the motherland this homegrown leader, one of the world's leading experts on diabetes-induced birth defects and prenatal diagnosis. What we acknowledge today is what the whole world in the medical field already knows. Accordingly, he has achieved multiple distinctions, received numerous special recognitions, and crowned with major awards, including the Distinguished Leadership Award, the Marcus Garvey UNIA Award, the Burson Medical Alumni Achievement Award from his alma mater, NYU, the American Diabetes Association's Norbert Frenkel Research Award, the Distinguished Service Award from Loma Linda University. He has been recognized by the Alpha Omega Alpha Medical Honor Society, the Blacks Networking for Progress, and the Baltimore Daily Record. And he has received honorary doctorates from Northern Caribbean University and the University of South Florida. It is our time now to name him among us. And I ask you, Chancellor, by the power vested in you by the Council and Senate, to confer on our homegrown healer, Professor E. Albert Rees, the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Senate and Council of the University of the West Indies, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa of the University of the West Indies.
My many friends and colleagues at the University of the West Indies for this distinct honor. In particular, I'd like to offer special thanks to Chancellor Robert Bermudez, Vice Chancellor Sir Hilary Beckles, Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal Professor Dale Weber, and the University Registrar, Dr. Maurice Smith. I'm humbled by the significance of this recognition, and I'm truly grateful for this honor. The University of the West Indies is recognized as a stellar institution. Its graduates rank among the very best nationally and internationally in many areas, including medicine, public health, and the social sciences. It is my ambition to continue to make my alma mater proud with my life's work. I attribute many of my successes to my experience and the support from the University of West Indies, in particular, my mentor and doctoral advisor, the Honorable Professor Errol Morrison. I thank you again, and I will uphold the excellence that this honor represents. My very best wishes to my co-honorees and today's graduates. Congratulations, and may God continue to bless you and the University of the West Indies. Thank you.
Chancellor, I now ask the public orator, Dr. Michael Buckner, to present His Excellency Sir Rodney Airy Lawrence Williams, whom the Senate and the Council of this university have been pleased to recommend for the award of the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
Chancellor, today we have the inestimable privilege to have on our graduation platform, real or remote, one whose credentials bear the royal seal. Though, as another sir in our midst knows only too well, royalty has come under real reparations fire in recent times. Even as the drum rolls of dissent are echoing across the globe, attempting to topple thrones of privilege, we could not fairly attribute such accountability to Her Majesty's representative here in the Caribbean. For long before the double-edged sword of knighthood anointed his shoulders, and long before his elevation to the grand ceremonial position of Antigua and Barbuda's 4th Governor General, he had a lifelong mission as a champion of the people, as a benevolent and dutiful medical doctor, as an exemplary alumnus of UWI, and as a true patriot and noble nation builder in his native land. Chancellor, I present to you our Royal Caribbean Man of Letters, Knight Grand Cross of St. Michael and St. George, Knight of the Most Venerable Order of the Hospital of St. John of Jerusalem, current Governor General of Antigua and Barbuda, His Excellency, Sir Rodney Eyre Lawrence Williams. Chancellor, talk about letters behind one's name. Yet, I suspect those appellations are less important to Sir Rodney than the fact that as St. Paul has encouraged us, he has become a living letter, an extraordinary example of selfless service. How could he not become a national leader, given his early beginnings? Born 4th of 5 children for the late Honorable Ernest Emmanuel Williams and Irene Williams in the tasteful village of Sweet Antigua, he grew up in a home where education and community service were de rigueur. His mother, the head teacher at the Sweet Government School, kept a watchful eye on him, so much so he excelled in all his subjects. His father was a people's representative for St. Paul's, but was also a trade unionist, baker, shopkeeper, and auto mechanic. His mother, hailed as the village mayor, perhaps what we call the village lawyer here in Jamaica, was busy solving the social problems of the community. Such actions of his parents suggested that service was in Sir Rodney's blood. But Chancellor, lost opportunity would also inspire the direction of this public servant. He reports that his father, who was desirous of becoming a doctor, could not continue his schooling when his own father died, and he was left to take care of his siblings. Sir Rodney took his father's career dream to heart. For although he loved competitive sports, especially cricket and football, and although being a pilot or a pastor was his own desire, he decided to pursue medicine after topping the class every year and being named head boy at the Antiguan Grammar School. Soon after, he enrolled at the Mona campus and completed his MBBS, followed by his internship at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Barbados. He became an emergency medical practitioner at the Halberton Hospital, but also worked as a house officer, pediatrics lecturer for nurse trainees, and the supervisor for the first batch of nurse practitioners trained in Antigua and Barbuda. Yet Chancellor, his own love of sports and his interest in aviation continued to haunt him. And soon he found a way to marry all his passions. He branched out into aviation medicine, enrolling in further studies at the Royal Air Force Institute of Aviation Medicine in the UK and at the Federal Aviation Administration headquarters in the USA. Additionally, he sought training in sports medicine, taking up training opportunities at the US Olympic Training Center in the USA and in Australia, and also doing a stint with a sports medicine specialist at the Strong Memorial Hospital in upstate New York. He also became the district medical officer and served in all districts in Antigua and Barbuda. I have it on good authority, Chancellor, that he routinely provided medical service gratis to those who could not afford to pay, because his philosophy is, quote, one's health should not be dependent on one's wealth, unquote. Similarly, athletes in many sporting disciplines would also benefit from free medical care. He served as team doctor to several sporting organizations, and the chef de mission to the Pan Am Games 1979, Los Angeles Olympics 1984, and the Central American and Caribbean Games 1986. In pursuing his father's dreams, he did not neglect his own and made signal contributions to sports, medicine, sports administration, and sports development. Chancellor, our honorary graduate's sense of duty to his father and his nation is remarkable. After the untimely death of his father, who served the people for 46 years, Sir Rodney took on his father's role as Member of Parliament for St. Paul's in 1984. He was appointed as Special Advisor to the Prime Minister, Deputy Speaker of the House, and served in several ministerial portfolios with a record number of accomplishments. As Minister of Tourism, for example, he expertly facilitated the marketing of Antigua and Barbuda, known as a destination, quote, with a beach for every day of the year, unquote. Yet, he's perhaps most proud of his work in education, especially for his bold initiative to introduce the education levy that created greater equity of opportunity for students in Antigua and Barbuda. Consequently, free textbooks were made available in public and private primary and secondary schools, and 150 annual scholarships were given to tertiary level students. Support for equipment for schools and funding for teacher training were also provided. He served in the legislature for 20 years, in addition to his current role as Governor General. It is impossible, Chancellor, to reduce almost 5 decades of national service to a 5 or 6 minute citation. His Excellency has been a multifaceted, gifted, dedicated servant of the people. His esteem is recognized in the number of committees, boards, organizations for which he has been trustee, chairman, member, and fellow. Even this high regard in which he is held has been leveraged to help others by being patron, along with Her Excellency Lady Williams, for over 35 non-profit organizations, including Global Giving Week for the UAI. Such an extraordinary public life of service has earned him numerous awards in sports, culture, public health, and in community and youth development. He has already received 2 honorary doctorates and the UAI Pelican Award. Chancellor, let's add another UAI credit to his credentials: for his steady piloting of the ship of state, for his pastoral care of those seeking medical attention, for the dexterity of his piano-playing fingers that brought delight, for his sporting prowess, for the man who loved his father enough to fulfill his dreams, for all his talents and brilliance of mind offered in service to this region. I ask, Chancellor, that by the power vested in you by the Council and Senate to confer on His Excellency Sir Ronald Airy Lawrence Williams the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Senate and Council of the University of the West Indies, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Science, honoris causa of the University of the West Indies.
Chancellor and Vice Chancellor of our UWI, fellow graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Warm greetings and a happy, healthy and productive New Year from Antigua and Barbuda. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be recognized by the institution from which I received my professional education, and to join the special fraternity of recipients of this accolade. To my colleague honorary graduates participating in person or virtually, I extend sincerest congratulations. To the graduating class of 2020, it is extremely commendable that you have successfully completed this component of your life's journey. As indicated in my address to the UWI Alumni Association for the 2020 Global Giving Month last August, it is no small feat that heads of state, heads of government, ministers of government, heads of religious institutions, internationally recognized professional and business leaders, and the senior civil servants have all walked the halls of our University of the West Indies. As you graduate from several years of higher learning into a future filled with promise and potential, recognize that you are indeed a part of the success story of this great institution, an institution that experienced a modest start in 1948 with 33 enrolled students. Now, the University of the West Indies is the #1 Caribbean university and is one of the world's top tertiary academic bodies, accommodating approximately 50,000 students from some 80 countries. We have every reason to be proud of our alma mater. Distinguished graduates, today's milestone is a testimony to the reality that the University of the West Indies experience is a solid foundation upon which the walls of your chosen profession can be built. The clear message that I wish to impart is as follows. Multi-skill development is a necessity in today's complex social and economic environment. In addition to your academic studies and presumed preparation for the competitive world of employment, it is important for you to continue to train and to equip yourself to occupy positions for which you are not necessarily qualified. There are several steps which you can take in order to ready yourself for the highly competitive job market. 1. Seek to specialize in areas of your profession that are not as heavily saturated as others. In my own case, creating a demand for services I offered as a medical practitioner meant transitioning from general practice to training in both aviation and sports medicine. 2. Continuously learn new skills that are not necessarily related to the subject of your degree. This is particularly attainable now that online courses are more readily accepted and accessible. 3. Develop on-the-job competencies, even though you may not be employed in a sphere that is directly related to your academic discipline. And 4. Explore ways in which you can innovate, methods of finding solutions to existing regional and global problems, or providing goods and services which will satisfy the needs and wants of citizens all over the world. The UWI experience is an inspiration for service to others. One recent example of this is the institution's provision of invaluable support to many who were suddenly and negatively impacted by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. This was achieved through the Alumni Association's fundraising drive during Global Giving Month 2020. Aristotle once said that educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Always remember this as you make your way through the maze of life. Genuine service to others is equally as important as your professional and financial success. My own mantra as a medical doctor has been that a person's health should not be dependent upon his or her wealth. Additionally, my personal coat of arms bears the motto, honor over wealth. My hope, therefore, is that you face the world with a conviction of spirit, determined also to make a difference through the gift of giving back. In this vein, it is important for you to embrace the efforts of the UWI Alumni Association, and in so doing, contribute towards the sustainability and survival of our university. Today is not just a day to celebrate, but it is yet another opportunity to confirm UWI's ability to unlock and release potential, to transform people, and by extension, to configure a region with the ability to impact upon the entire world. I charge you today to make the Caribbean and the entire global platform a better place for all. I encourage you to impart your experiences and scholastic enlightenment to the benefit of those with whom you come into contact. I challenge you to face the competitive job market with determination and readiness, steeped in the realization that the quality of flexibility will provide your greatest opportunity for success. I offer you this thought on the importance of education, that it is your permanent asset which can neither be devalued nor depleted. As stated aptly by Benjamin Franklin, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. You have made this investment. It is now your time to go forward, to generate this interest at its highest rate of return, and at the same time to give back to society without expectation. Congratulations to the University of the West Indies graduating class of 2020. I close with these inspirational words of the eminent Bob Marley. The greatness of a man is not in how much wealth he acquires, but in his integrity and his ability to affect those around him positively. May this be your guiding light. Thank you very much.
I don't invite the university singers to perform.
When all the world is a hopeless
Chancellor, the persons whose names will be called studied in the University of the West Indies, and having fulfilled the requirements of the University of the West Indies, beg leave to be presented to you and to the Senate of the University by the representatives of their respective faculties as Bachelors of Law, or Bachelors of Medicine and Bachelors of Surgery, or Bachelors of Medical Sciences, or Basic Medical Sciences, or Nursing or Physical Therapy, or Diagnostic Imaging of the University of the West Indies. Sir, the Dean of the Faculty of Law, Dr. Shazida Ali.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive as graduate members of our society these persons present, who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Laws of this university.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called as graduate members of our society and confirm first degrees, diplomas, and certificates of this university.
Sir, for the Bachelor of Laws, I present Godrose Adegold, Carrie-Ann Allen, Ronaldo Allen, Amanda Jo Anderson, Juanita Angwin, Jory Armstrong, Gavari Ashmead, Dominique Barrett, Jaquan Beckford, Ruthann Bengouche, Saeed Bernard, Kevon Blackwood, Kimberly Blackwood, Dominic Blair, Makesi Budram, David Bowes, Deshaun Brown, Jaya Buchanan Kamosi, Chrisanne Campbell, Jada Campbell, Janelle Campbell, Trudy Ann Campbell, Cara Cardis, Tammy Lee Carter, Cavell Cato, Jamaic Charles, Iqbal Javeria, Candy Chin, Devoy Coburn, Aliyah Cook, Tamar Crary, Danielle Cumberland, CJ Cummins, Tanya Da Silva, Sabrina Daly, Nathan Dawkins, Celine Diedrich, Delon Delop, Kadeen Denny, Kenisha Dennis, Kimani Douglas with first class honors, Sashara Eccleston with first class honors, Danielle Emmanuel, Tony Ann Ewan, Alexandria Fata, Abigail Ferguson, Shanice Foreman, Kaya Francis with first class honors, Romisha Garrick, Clenisha Gomes, Emily Gordon, Michaela Goss, Sonia Goulburn, Danielle Graham, Tamara Grant Bogle, Janice Grant, Levon Grant, Alia Green, Justine Greenland, Stanley Greenwich, Marvin Hall, Shade Hall, Shannon Harris, Cara Harris with first class honors, Anika Harrison, Trevor Harry, Garnian Hazel, Kimali Headley, Sasha K. Henderson, Christian Hendricks, Brenton Henry, Brittany Hodges Marshall, Ashley Hodges, Jewel Hogarth, Janelle Holt, Janae Hopkins, Joshana Hopkinson with first class honors, Kalia Hunter with first class honors, Joanne Hilton with first class honors, Kimberly Irons, Janae Jackson, Jessica Jackson, Rochelle James, Stefan Jennings, Alia Johnson, Jared Johnson with first class honors, Janelle Johnson, Tashian Johnson, Dominique Jones with first class honors, Rashida Jones, Sarah Jones, Matthew July, Shadell Khoury with first class honors, Quiddy Ann King, Tamara King, Shakira Kinlock, Charette Kirby Oliphant, Jordine Lawrence with first class honors, Raheem Lawrence, Belinda Lee Harriott, Catherine Lee, Sachelle Lee, Jessica Lewis, Sherika Lindsay with first class honors, Bettina Lloyd, Lorenzia Lloyd, Crystal Loftus, Kristan Maloney, Desiree Markham, Jada Martin, Maurice McDougall, Yuan McFarlane, Russell McGann, Alain McGibbon, Chantel McGowan, Alia Miller, Zavon Miller, Marco Mills, Abigail Minot, Kimoni Mitchell, Jonathan Moncrief, Drizel Morris, Laurie Ashley Morris, Tiffany Morris, Naomi Naglin, Paige Nash, Ruel Nelson, Danae Newman, Crystal Nicholas, Kellogg N. Kemakolam, Vianney Novello, Alex Parks, Athasia Parks, Kimon Patterson, Janae Peart, Jeline Petch, Alicia Ramdal, Nicholas Ranger, Adam Rattray, Ngozi Reddy, Janelle Reed, Kuruma Reed, Shavanice Reed, Shaquan Richards, Shadow Roberts, Christian Romans, Shanique Rowe, Brittany Rotham, Alexia Royal Eatman, Renelle Rubin, Caricia Samuel, Zari Saunders, Brittany Savage. Judaska Shaw. Radine Simpson with first-class honors. Melissa Smith. Michaelia Smith. Patrice Smith with first-class honors. Tara Monet Smith. Keanu Solan. Tiffany Stanley. Malik Stevens. Brittany Subrati. Markada Supriya. Kamar Sutherland. Rochelle Sutherland. Dahlia Thomas. Lenroy Thomas. Christina Thompson with first-class honors. Suyan Thompson. Jody Ann Tracy. Sashika Walford. Julie Walters. Tajira Walters. Danielle Webster. Leanne Wellington. Janice White. Alexa Williams. Davy Williamson. Rashida Williams. Rochelle Williams. Dania Wilson. Jordan Wilson. Nyron Wright. Tajay Young Sang. Kellyanne Younger. Marie Young.
Sir, the Dean, the Faculty of Medical Sciences, Dr. Tomlin Paul.
Sir, my colleagues and I ask you to receive as graduate members of our society these persons present who, having fulfilled the requirements of the university, have been admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, or Bachelor of Medical Sciences, or Basic Medical Sciences, or Nursing, or Physical Therapy, or diagnostic imaging or doctor of dental surgery of this university.
By the authority vested in me, I receive these persons whose names are about to be called as graduate members of our society and confirm first degrees, diplomas, and certificates of this university.
Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, I present Steffi Agard, Honors. Alexa Ray Allen. Shade Allen. Livingston Aline. Alicia Anderson. Dominique Anderson. Sabrina Archer. Shanice Ashby. Joel Asrop. Kamoja Bailey. Kande Bailey. Shanina Bailey. Tanya Barclay. Kamala Barrett. Priya Basaraj. Shajona Bass. Mikhail Benjamin. Akeem Bennett, Honors. Brittany Bennett. Jamal Bernard. Tiana Bernard. Shannon Besson. Crystal Bevans. Carisha Bird Williams. Wasemi Blake. Renee Boland. Makia Bovel. Sekani Boxell. Tony Braham. Lisa Brereton. Alexander Brooks. Delano Brooks. Cloanna Brown. Deidrean Brown. Nejay Brown. Shade Buchanan, Omar Bullock, Antonio Birch, Shanae Butler, Imani Caldwell, Elombe Calvert, Rakia Cameron, Cheyenne Campbell, Colleen Campbell, Delani Campbell, Jada Carey, Kristen Chang, Tracy Chapman, Christopher Chatur, Janine Chateau with honors, Tiffany Chin, Janelle Chisholm, Liana Chung, Shannon Chung, Akila Clark, Antoinette Clark, Devonnie Clark, Matthew Clare, Peter Gay Clemmings, Brittany Collahar, Jean-Christophe Comby, Kimara Coombs, Gregonique Cooper, Kejan Crawford, Karina Cruikshank, Danielle Daly, Sanisha Daly, Masha Danzine, Jonathan Davis, Brittany Ray Dawkins, Jason Dawson, Renique Diedrich Dawkins, Sandra Deer, Salian Dixon, Tremaine Dixon, Anastasia Douglas, Sean Douglas. Capel Dow. Danielle Downer. Catherine Downer. Justine Dewberry. Tonian Duncan. Crystal Duncombe. Christoph Dwyer. Honors. Hakeem Edwards. Zavion Edwards. Khadijah Estick with honors. Zaniel Facey. Daniela Farrell. Ramoy Folks with honors. Jordan Forbes. Anik Forrester. Calbert Francis. Rhea Francis with honors. Diras Frank. Antoine Fraser. Brittany Fullerton. Vishala Ganis. Kristen Gooden. Errol Gordon with honors. Julian Gordon. Jodianne Gosling. Susan Graham with honors. Vanessa Green. Rakisha Hamilton. Verona Hanley. Afisha Harewood. Stephen Harris. Farron Hartley. Amara Hastings. Vincia Hazel. Yanisha Henry. Zoe Haywood. Shanique Hibbert. Brittany Hickey. Najee Hill. Kenisha Hines. Mark Hines. Shanika Howard. Candy Hudson. Jamal Hunter. Ashley Innes. Shanice Jackson. Kimana James. Dominic Jarrett with honors. Lacey Jarrett. Carlan Job. Shanice Jobity. Kadisha Johnson. Donahue Johnson. Duhaney Johnson. Georgia Lee Johnson. Jodian Johnson. Nicolette Johnson. Sean Johnson. Yasmin Johnson. Ariana Johnston. Kirk Jones. Carissa Joseph. Tony Joseph. Ray Kangu. Tiffany Kawal. Brighton Kinlock. Genelia Cook. Devia Kupalani. Anthony Kong. Jordan Kong. Christopher Koo. Chanel Kuchenberg Pasco. Brittany Lambert. Darisha Lashley. Brittany Lawrence. Harilee Quay. Melissa Lee. Prince Lee. Saleh Letrin. Jillian Lewis. Mark Lewis. Romario Lewis. Ronaldo Lewis. Jordana Lindo. Maria Lindsay. Johannes Lindsay. Josanne Lochan. Danielle Lorenqui. Annalie Lopez. Abigail Lynch. Vanessa Lyons. Amanda Maharaj. Jordan Malcolm with honors. Rhonda Manning with honors. Sasha Mirage. Michaela Martin. Jordan Masters. Cabello Matshube. Richard Matthew. Kamisha Maynard. Mario McCallum with honors. Ashley McCarthy. Felicia MacDonald. Letitia MacDonald. Garrett McFarlane. Xavier McFarlane. Venice McIntosh Morgan. Martin McIntosh. Kim McLaughlin. Christiana McLean. Sabrina McNeil. Camille Mendoza. Aliyah Mentor. Rochelle Mighty. Lydia Miles Saunders. Avian Miller. Casey Miller. Abigail Minot. Royan Mitchell. Clint Mohammed. Holmer Morgan. Oshin Morris. Yakiv Morris. Christian Estelle Morillon. Christopher Murray. Soraya Murray. Nichelle Mouchette Charles. Shadeen Myers. Stephanie Myrie. Brittany Nairn. Tyler Narsing. Pedro Neely. Naib Nicholas. Chevrolet Notice. Nikolai Nunes. Akin Okeke. Sasha Oliver. Adunola Olurin. Abigail Palmer. Natasha Palmer. Danielle Parchment. Samantha Parejo. Reba Paris. Kay Patrick. Christian Paulsing. Carice Peart. Carrie Peart. Atasha Perry with honors. Matthew Perry. Petal Perry. Ari Prasad. Tamal Philip. Kristen Phipps. Cordell Powell. Kyle Powell. Francine Powers. Matthew Preston with honors. Abe Noel Price. Kadisha Pusey. Lisa Marie Ramlakhan. Gabriella Ranjit. Cheyenne Redhead. Leonette Reed. Tafari Reed with honors. Shamara Roden. Georgette Riley Duncan. Ariel Roberts. Ava Robertson with honors. Jasmine Robinson. Kybron Robinson. Roger Samuels. Lanique Saunders. Nzika Saunders. Kimberly Scott. Rajiv Simangal Das. Olebogeng Selelo. Christophe Sharp. Tony Sheree Shirley. Theon Sims with honors. Siobhan Sinclair. Javon Smith. Kareem Smith. Orlando Smith. Romaine Smith. Usher Smith. Aisha Sozano. Sherman Spence. Lovina Stedman. Kristen Stewart. Roshea Stoddart. Michaela Stubbs. Bradley Stoltz. Akila Sykes. Jana Abi Tano. Melanie Taylor-Jean. Jove Taylor. Andrew Thomas. Kenyatta Thomas. Lindsay Thomas. Chanel Thomas. Danielle Thompson. Lishtau Thompson. Shanice Thompson with honors. Travis Thompson. Taffa Tony. Olicia Trim. Leyens Vincent. Shannon Walker. Danielle Walters. Kerry Warner. Kadeen Warwick. Candice Watson. Yannick Weeks. Shalicia White Brown. Gayan White. Georgino White with honors. Ahisha Wilkinson. Alison Williams. Danielle Williams. Deborah Rose Williams. Carrie-Ann Williams. Laurel Williams. Mark Anthony Williams. Shad Williamson. Shadona Williamson. Deirdre Simone Wills. Akila Wiltshire. Dakota Wright. Janelle Wright. Joshua Wright. Shade Wright. Talia Wright. Javon Young. Sir, for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, I present Chantel Allen. Amoy Anderson with first class honors. Nicole Bailey. Tonia Beard de Freitas. Akeem Bernard. Camelia Brady. Jade Chin with first class honors. Kimberly Connell with first class honors. Okera Denny with first class honors. Rashado Donaldson. Jamelia Douglas. Keisha Marie Douglas. Ruth Douglas. Raon Earl. Aisha Ellis with first class honors. Moisha Forbes. Trudian Hamilton. Ronique Henry. Shomari Hutchinson. Javier Johnson with first class honors. Raje Johnson. Makada Jones. Crystal Mackenzie. Tavia Mackenzie. Jadalee Mitchell. Gabriella Morris. Ryan Parsley. Shavoy Reed. Javon Reed. Nicardo Roberts. Chevelle Robinson. Ariel Samuels. Shanake Simpson. Jamar Smith. Shanice Smith. Simone Smith. Dania Taylor. Cheyenne Thompson. Shay Vernon. Janae Virgo. Shannon Watkis. Radhika White. Patrick Williams. Garth Wong. Janelle Bailey. Janelle Bailey. Tamika Basu with first class honors. Shiquan Benjamin, Kristen Shandon, Antonio Dale, Horeen Dixon, Notanya Ebanks, Shanice Ewan, Shanae Foster, Shona K. Gaynor, Shanke Hamilton, Michael Howitt, Samantha Isaacs, Tamika Jackson, Ashley Josephs, Victoria Malcolm with first class honors, Odine Mackenzie with first class honors, Rosetta Morris, Janice Nichols with first class honors, Tashari Palmer with first class honors, Ariane Patman with first class honors, Tamia Robinson, Roxanne Williams, Josette Allen, Catherine Allen with first class honors, Ojay Allen, Denise Anderson, Kima Anderson, Jade Archer, Jessica Archer, Chanel Archie, Audriana Arnold, Nina Atkinson, Kayla Bailey, Zasheen Baker, Masha Bandu, Christina Banton, Stephanie Barclay with first class honors, Christian Barnes, Shanice Barneswell, Nadra Barton, Tiffany Basil with first class honors. Awitha Beckford. Shawnette Beckford. Annalie Benjamin. Anika Biggerstaff. Stacy Blackstock. Shalika Blair. Christine Blake. Kavil Briscoe. Cassian Brooks. Karine Brown with first class honors. Cedrica Brown. Christina Brown. Daniela Brown. Demar Brown. Chantel Brown. Janika Bryan. Kasha Bryan. Ashella Burrell with first class honors. Chantel Burton. Tashika Cameron. Lorraine Campbell Cole. Ramona Campbell. Sharika Campbell. Takis Campbell with first class honors. Tanyan Campbell. Vanessa Campbell. Antoinette Cash. Lorraine Casanova. Letitia Chambers. Shani Chambers. Yolanda Christie. Sharice Chung. Peter K. Clark. Shanavia Clark. Latoya Clement. Danielle Codner. Yvonne Constance. Chanel Cousins. Erisha Kova. Pamela Cummings. June Curtino. Shamil Dallas with first class honors. Vanessa Davy. Jodianne Dawkins with first class honors. Renee Dawson. Brittany Dixon. Tashley Dixon. Carla Donaldson. Kyra Douglas with first class honors. Janelle Duhaney. Trisselle Duncan. Christine Dunkley. Anne-Marie Earl. Deanna Edgar. Sudine Edmund. Kamisha Edwards. Anne-Marie Ellis Crawford. Opal Ellis. Kemoy Ennis. Tijana Fairman with first class honors. Samantha Farquharson. Rona Forbes Bryan. Tennille Francis with first class honors. Anik Freighter. Shante Fullerton. Britannia Gallimore. Jodianne Gale. Carisha Gale. Abigail Gentles. Nicole Gentles. Felicia Gooden. Rove Gooden. Anika Gordon. Crystal Gordon. Brittany Grant. Kamika Grant. Sharona Grant. Colleen Gray with first class honors. Chrisann Green. Danae Green. Candice Griffiths. Antoinette Grindley with first class honors. Nemoy Hado Ricketts. Zenodia Hall. Samay Hannon. Shanice Hanson with first class honors. Tashwanik Horton with first class honors. Shanice Hawthorne. Tasheri Hay. Dion Henry with first class honors. Perrine Henry. Lamore Huey. Rhea Hibbert. Natasha Holder. Ranolyn Hunt. Trudianne Hutchinson with first class honors. Janelle Hilton. Tiana Hyman. Chevelle Jackson. Davia James. Denisha James. Abigail Johnson. Angeli Johnson. Joel Johnson. Petrine Johnson. Abigail Jones. Latanya Jones. Moesha Jones. Shanikia Jones. Tiffany Carr. Havanice Lawrence. Shernette Leslie. Sashiva Lewis. Shamika Lewis. Tamika Lewis. Cameron Lindo. Andreen Lindsay. Garisha Lindsay with first class honors. Danielle Linton. Gabrielle Lynn. Jodian Mason. Christina McCallum. Theresa McGaw, Tifancy McIntosh, Crystal McLeod, Monifia McNeish, Ivana Merritt, Kerrion Miller with first class honors, Nicole Miller, Amoy Minto, Bianca Mitchell, Risa Mohammed, Moisha Morrison, Selena Morris, Ashel Mollings, Camille Mollings, Sharilee Murray, Jillian Nathan, Stacyan Nemhard with first class honors, Shakira Ogilvy, Dania Orr, Shanake Osborne, Carissa Otto, Janelle Palmer, Nikita Palmer, Akelia Parnell, Natalia Paulwell, Susan Peart with first class honors, Sequane Perry, Jordan Phillips, Rashida Pickett, Chantel Plummer, Nicolette Powell, Shamika Prentice, Shana Ramjeet, Joycelyn Rollins, Unique Reed Woolery, Nicolay Reed, Renee Reed, Shari Reed, Vanessa Reynolds, Marissa Roof, Jodian Richards, Shanice Richards. Tamari Richards. Shanice Robinson. Rosalie Roman. Sashini Rose. Cassandra Russell with first class honors. Sharake Salmon. Cheyenne Samuda. Javanicia Scott. Jessica Scott. Carmeth Scott. Rejoelle Shirley. Kanisha Sims. Nikoi Simpson. Yannick Simpson. Chanel Sinclair. Brittany Smith. Donna Smith. Levon Smith with first class honors. Natasha Spencer Brown. Nadia Stewart Reed. Javale Stewart. Shanika Stewart. Nayoka Sweeting. Andrea Taylor Wright. Audriana Taylor. Colleen Terrelong. Karen Thomas Hanson. Janelle Thomas. Trudianne Thomas. Jeanne Thompson. Quishani Thompson. Chanel Thompson. Kimberly Tommings. Adriana Tyndale. Jody Terrell. Chelsea Vaughn. Janila Walker. Stephanie Walker. Kemoya Wallace. Davia Walters. Lanya Gay Webb. Saria Webb. Cherian Webley. Chantel Williams. Kimon Williams. Abigail Wilson. Francina Witter Martin. Aina Witter. Kimberly Witter. Nicoda Wang. Paul Woolery. Shanice Wright. Peter Young Chang.
Michelle Cousins.
Nathaniel Aline. Onyenye Baptiste. Siobhan Beadle. Jean-Anne Blackwood. Jaleesa Brewster. Sharon David. Nicolon David. Akil Davis. Soniqua Davis. Tania Dawkins. Andrea Dersioran. Quinn Fairley. Matthew Foster. Christina Gonzalez. Kimberly Gray. Ashake Hall. Samantha Henry. Monique Higgs. Tavia Johnson. Jamila Jones. Samantha Joseph. Miguel Letts. Shante Lewis. Dejian Martin. Rondine McFarlane. Tiffany McFarlane. Devon McKnight. Shanique Nesbith. Shian Oliver with first class honors. Shanique Peters. Tiana Powell. Giselle Reynolds. Crystal Robinson. Raquel Sewell with first class honors. Sharika Silvera. Roger Simpson. Alicia Singh with first class honors. Oshin Swaby. Joel Thomas. Shazdeen Walker. Nathan Withers. Abigail White. Pamela Williams.
I now call on the class valedictorian, Dr. Shamara Roden, Bachelor of Medicine, Bachelor of Surgery, with distinction, to deliver the valedictory address.
Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Campus Council Chair, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal, University Registrar, other Principal Officers, Honorary Graduates, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, graduating class of 2020, good day. Renowned pastor and author Dr. James Kennedy said, "Excellence in all things, and all things for God's glory." Before we started this journey, someone went ahead of us to orchestrate our path to excellence. Yet, the responsibility was placed in our laps and a mantle in our hands to do what was necessary to attain this milestone of success. It required discipline, dedication, and diligence. With a fervent zeal and great aspirations, we entered the University of the West Indies bouncing with different expectations. However, storms surged, pandemics emerged, and life happened, allowing our university experience to be nothing close to a walk in the park. My fellow graduates, today, I would like to remind you that you are enough. Pelicans, we are enough. We are equipped, necessary, occupied, unique, grateful, and we are humble. We are enough. Let's reflect. How many times over the past few years did you question whether you would finish this race? From the hassle of commuting, to the demands of our life, to the requirements by our various courses, have you ever been overwhelmed? For some of us, it was the financial restraints, failing health, difficulties in succeeding academically, and for others, simply balancing the scales. Nevertheless, whatever it was, you're here, contradicting how you felt all those times. As former President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela said, "It always seems impossible until it's done." Let us dissect what it means to be enough. E, you are equipped. Equipped with all the tools necessary to be exemplary and to complete your specific purpose. You are equipped with further knowledge and understanding as a beacon of light from the West, from various Caribbean islands and countries across the globe. You enrolled yourself into the University of the West Indies to become the noblest and the best. Whether you came to the campus for face-to-face learning or took online courses, whether you were enrolled full-time or part-time, be confident that the time you spent at this world-class institution has equipped you with all you need to do what you intended to do. N, you are necessary. You are a solution to a problem in this world. There is no one that can fill the position you fill. No one has your distinctive personality or innovative capacity to bring the solutions you do. Athletes, clinical pharmacologists, physiotherapists, radiographers, basic medical scientists, sports coaches, future lawyers, physicians, nurses, dentists, and all other careers provided by the faculties of medical sciences, law, and sport, you are necessary. You've been handed a baton to become entrepreneurs, civil servants, and innovators. Utilize your skills efficiently and effectively to make your mark beyond the borders of this university. Thank you to our budding clinical pharmacologists and their lecturers who utilized their skills earlier last year to produce hand sanitizer in the fight against COVID-19. Wherever you will be, you are necessary. Oh, you are occupied. Occupied by goals, visions, and plans that there is no time or space for procrastination. There is already a spark waiting on you to set it ablaze. Add diesel to it, and if that's too expensive, add E87. Whatever it takes, light it. Let's be honest. Our dreams and aspirations require strategies and obedience for fulfillment. There are times in which we tripped over the hurdles or even dropped the baton. However, it was Nelson Mandela who also said, "Do not judge me by my success. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." We aren't in a 100-meter sprint, but rather a steeplechase or test match that will require constant discipline. Be occupied with your goals as much as you were occupied with your courses, such as critical reading and writing, Integration Thursdays, UE Carnival, homecoming, and extracurricular activities. The UE experience has been nothing less than eventful, and I'm sure you were always occupied. Now is the time to become occupied with you. You are unique. We were all uniquely made with unique passions and callings. Do not become preoccupied with another's achievements or goals. Write your own dictum and pave your own path. As well as there may be similarities, no one has an exact replica of yours. Everyone has their unique stride length and frequency. We accelerate and decelerate at our own pace. Therefore, stay focused. The knowledge gained, lessons learned, relationships forged, cultures integrated have all come together in forming you, the unique UE graduate. G, we are grateful. Grateful to have been granted access to all the resources and personnel that helped you to achieve your goals. We had access to qualified lecturers, advisors, lecture theaters fitted with the latest in audiovisuals technology, cutting-edge libraries, healthcare, and a myriad of other services that not only gave us that initial push from the starting blocks, but facilitated the successful completion of our time here. In order to attend classes or sit examinations over the last few months, we required an OURVLE password, a compatible device, and internet service to have access. We are grateful to Mona Information Technology Services for answering our many queries, and to those who provided zero-rated data and tablets for our students, we are grateful. H, we are humble. It's okay to hunger for more. I'm not referring to Spot or Nardos now, but to desire more knowledge and greater achievements. Nevertheless, remember to do so with humility. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16, verse 18. Pelicans are known for their excellent vision and air sacs under the skin which provide them with buoyancy. As UE graduates, we will be referred to as pelicans, and it is the hunger attached to our vision that will provide us with an upward force to achieve more. Even though we are enough, we faced challenges coping in the last few months of our degree. Adjusting to strictly online classes and examinations, being forced to be disciplined in our own homes, and simply holding it together in a pandemic wasn't easy. The past 3 to 5 years have been a journey, not only for us, but our family, friends, and well-wishers who provided support financially and emotionally. We thank you. To our lecturers, advisors, all faculty staff, ancillary staff, security guards, to all employees of the University of the West Indies, we thank you for facilitating our stay here and allowing it to be a memorable one. Finally, yet most importantly, we thank God for granting us victory before we even settled in the starting blocks. It's because of you all that we are now full of greatness. We acknowledge the Faculty of Medical Sciences for becoming the first in Latin America and the Caribbean for receiving the Aspire Award for Excellence in Social Accountability. In addition, we acknowledge the Faculty of Sport for the successful staging of the 2019 UE Games, in which Team Mona rose victorious. We acknowledge the Mona Law Society for the successful execution of their first staging of Gospel Infusion Concert, branded COVID, Conquering Victories in Disasters. I believe the class of 2020 embodies the characteristics of a willow. It was author Robert Jordan who said, "The oak fought the wind and was broken. The willow bent when it must and survived." Boy, did the COVID-19 pandemic bend us, but we survived. Congratulations, class of 2020. Pelicans, as a UE graduate, remember, you are enough. You are equipped, necessary, occupied with your unique tasks, always grateful and humble, whilst inspiring others to hunger for more success. Let us be like the late honorary graduate Gordon Butch Stewart, who said, "Success takes a vivid imagination and a dream, and I believe in dreaming big." So, adjust your focus, blurring the peripheries, and capture the right lighting set on your goals. You may be daunted by the world that awaits you, but always remember, you are a light rising from the west, and you are enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Roden. I now invite the UWI Dance Society to present a cultural item.
May your heart find peace anywhere you come from. Coulda up, you coulda down, blessings on my nation. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. wash over me. Take me to the river, take me to the river. Wash over me, music, wash over me.
Beautiful.
Sir, I now call on Professor Minerva Thames, Director, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of higher degrees.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been awarded postgraduate diplomas and admitted to master's degree, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confirm on these persons whose names are about to be called, master's degrees and postgraduate diplomas of this university, and recognize their advancement in our society.
Keela Foot. Michelle Cousins. Michelle Cousins. Keela Foot. Christopher Henry with distinction. Aisha Moore. Renford Taff. Nicole Warren. Anique Brown. Nicole Grant. Corrine Somers Brown. Nastasia Nunez. Shadell Gale. Chanel Dempster Peart with distinction. Thelma Moncur. Chantal Folks. Christonia Stubbs. Magdalene Lowton. Marian Price Robinson. Michelle Gallimore with distinction. Nikisha Barnes, Nikisha Fowler Holdham with distinction, Nika Antoine, Roshona Ragbar, Terry-Ann Robinson Clark, Jermaine White with distinction, Kimberly Dunkley with distinction, Leslie Mead, Michelle Sterling with distinction, Monair Dix, Noel McLennan with distinction, Noel Bowen, Rosemary Mitchell with distinction, Shauna Gay Linton, Susan Persard Wright, Adrian Booth, Bernard Aitchison, Kona Husbands, Delmar Martin, Judy Ann Brown with distinction, Comoya Fairclough, Keon Donaldson Davis with distinction, Kenisha Small Patterson, Miguel Julian, Raquel Dillon, Shanika Yuri Thurston, Tessan Solomon, Verol Denton, Yesan Barif, Alexander Carrington, Chrisanne Montgomery, Mario Jackson, Omnia Atala with distinction, Guadalupe Novello Gele, Zachary Ramsey with distinction, Calissa Joseph, Corey Roberts, Jordan Johnson, Alana Ingram with distinction, Donique Thomas, Javon Jackson, Christina Ramsumer with distinction, Melissa Frater Evans, Nikitia White, Sarah Loy Spencer with distinction, Sheree Parkinson, Tony Ann Dakers, Danielle Black, Bridget Bolton Brown with distinction, Colette Edwards, Emerald Melville, Fabian Powell, Kia Smith, Shanice Dan with distinction, Blair Steele, Janelle Ned, Olivine Christie, Antonique Boulard, Bridget Kendley Warmington, Charmaine Gibson, Diana Adderley, Jennifer Roberts, Carrie-Ann Wedderburn, Lavalia Stewart, Charlene Richards, Neil Barry, O'Neill Madzikigwa Zegwakpi, Maya Blackman, Crystal McLean, Crystal McLean, Alicia Johnson Samuels, Alicia Morris, Antonelle Davis, Terrian Russell, Nadia Rose, Catherine Pearson, Astrid Batchelor, Aviant Sandy Robinson, Melissa Forbes, Monique Thompson, Nika Ijoma, Rodine Wallace, Kimon Fraser, Sherian Spencer, Sophia Green, Chrisita Paulette, Charles Lucas, John Anthony Price, Pressy Hamilton, Jansen Johnson, Marie Brown,
Sir, I now call on Professor Stephen Gift, Pro Vice Chancellor, Graduate Studies and Research, to present to you members of our society for the award of Doctor of Philosophy.
Sir, I present to you these members of our society who, having fulfilled the requirements of this university, have been admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, and beg that you recognize their advancement in our society.
By the authority vested in me, I confer on these persons whose names are about to be called the degree of Doctor of Philosophy of this university and recognize their advancement in our society.
Leslie Rollock, Patrick Wheatle, Rhonda Seeley Thomas, Stuart Smith, Trevor Ferguson, Rochelle Davis, Trisha Fraser, Grayson Juna, Shireen White, Vanessa White Barrow, Joy Harrison with high commendation, Dawn Monroe with high commendation,
I now call on the President of UW Alumni Association, Jamaica Chapter, Mr. Dwayne Haynes, to lead the graduates in reciting the pledge.
Good afternoon to you all. The COVID-19 pandemic has put into perspective what matters most: our ability to be agile, flexible, collaborative, innovative, and formidable during these rather bleak times. But rest assured that our university will never back down from this challenge. Although we have to be distant, we are in this together. With that being said, I would like to officially welcome you to our alumni family. I invite you to become engaged alumni who show Pelican pride and are involved in the life of the campus as guest speakers, supporters of sport and hall events, mentors, recruiters, promoters, advocates, and much more. Let us now say the pledge together. As a graduate of the University of the West Indies, I commit myself to uphold the ideals and goals of my alma mater. My conduct and voice shall reflect the commitment to excellence of the light rising from the West. As I fulfill my social and professional responsibilities and serve my community and region, I will strive to ensure the U is placed as a Caribbean icon, the catalyst for Caribbean development and leadership. It is a legacy that I will proudly help build for future generations. The UE, first in our hearts and first in our region. Heartiest congratulations to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the university song. I invite the university singers to lead us in lead the company in the singing of the university song.
From Caribbean islands, Guyana and Belize, was born our University of the West Indies, proud symbol of our oneness, our strength in unity, with with vision clear, you came along to shape our destiny, to follow after knowledge, the truth to seek and find, to teach us love and justice, to liberate the mind. Today we see you rising, a light out of the west, that guides the feet of all who seek the noblest and the best. There is a light that is rising from out of the west, and the bearers of that light are we. So we follow those whose work has brought glory to your name, making a better world for you and for me. As from your noble portals your sons and daughters go to face a world of challenges, to conquer every foe, we'll work and play together, and as time marches on, we'll never forget the lesson that before we are one. UWI, we praise you, we lift our voice in song, we let our big drums roll loud and steel pans ping ping pong. For you have shaped our lives so that we can truly say, to you we owe our gratitude, a debt we can't repay. There is a light that is rising from out to the west, and the bearers of the light are we. So we follow those whose work has brought glory to your name, making a better world for you and for me. This is our University of the West Indies.
This brings to a close what I'd say was a novel graduation public ceremony by the University of the West Indies, which signalized the award of degrees and diplomas to graduates. The company will now disperse.